Hello, everyone. Today I want to talk about a sensitive topic. This is Charles Adelson on a blank watch, and this is the second time that he's been on an official blank watch. The last time was this year around April 2nd, and I'm not really sure the reason for that on a live watch. I speculate it was because that was the time that there were about 18 unanswered calls to Donna Adelson from Charlie, and I'm speculating that maybe he thought Donna was arrested at that time or something. He was sitting on tables in some of these incident reports, and I'm starting with November 7th, and this is, according to my records, the day after his guilty verdict. So I want to show you how many times Charlie was checked that day, November 7th, 108 checks. So there's no question that Charlie was being monitored on a live watch that day. This is the first evidence. 6:39 a.m. on November 7th, appears awake, appears asleep, cooperative, in bed, in cell, movement observed, talking, and on a live watch, Mrs. Richardson, BHP. This is the second time he was on an official on a live watch, and there's one other time, and it has to do with Donna's arrest the day of the 13th of November, and I'll scroll to that. And also wanted to note that I believe that there's a camera watching him. It says most of his checks just say well-being check, inmate, and cell okay. He's in cell E11, and there is a camera, which makes it much easier for them to check on him. And my last video, I told you the interesting news that Charlie was, in fact, nude on the 13th, which was a very difficult day for Charlie. I believe that he might have heard from Harvey that what had happened, what had just transpired at the airport. He heard from somebody, and that's when he started to, I guess, take off his clothes, and we'll never know why. I guess we'll have to hear from some experts. So on the 8th, we have 84 checks, which I found pretty interesting. He's still being monitored by camera. During all of these days, Charlie is manically making phone calls to Donna. And then at 8:13 on the 8th, he was talking to a behavioral health director, Dr. Sapp. So there must have been some kind of talk over the phone or talk to the guards that he was not doing okay after his verdict came out. All right, on the 9th, we have 97 checks. Most of these checks just say inmate okay. Okay, we have another blank watch here. On the 10th of November, it says he appears awake, cooperative, talking, blank watch, Miss Gilchrist rounds. And this is the third blank watch so far. Okay, moving on to the 11th. There is 103 checks on the 11th, and this is just a few days before Donna is arrested, and they're definitely going back and forth. So I believe at this point in time, Charlie is on a live watch, being watched by a camera. All right, so we have some notes here. Appears awake, lying down, resting, sitting on the floor, talking, standing, pacing. Okay. Oh, wow. So this is on the 11th. Charlie is also naked on the 11th. So appears asleep, awake, in bed, in cell, lying down, left side, lying down, right side, on his back, naked, quiet, sitting, standing, pacing, talking. Okay. So this was an unannounced round. And gosh, I think they're watching him on camera too, or they were. That's pretty crazy. He does not care. Just not a lot of modesty here. So, okay, so now we're at the 12th. And this is the day before Donna's arrested. I'm sure there was lots of phone calls going on with Donna this day. Most of these well-being checks say okay. Okay, so we have Charlie appears awake, appears asleep, in bed, lying down, movement observed, resting, sitting, talking to self. Then we have appears asleep, appears awake, in bed, in cell, movement observed, on the floor, quiet, sitting, standing, pacing, talking to self. We've seen some of that before, Charlie talking to himself and pacing. So, and there's like an average of like 90 to 100 checks. So on the 13th, there was 73 checks. That's the day Donna was arrested. And the day of another blank watch and also his naked note. All right, so we have this note where he was asleep, awake, cooperative, in cell, in bed, naked, blank watch, and then talking to a mental health professional. All right, so there you have it. There are people monitoring Charlie a lot and monitoring his phone calls, camera in his cell. He could very well be losing his mind. Let's hope that he flips on any of his family members that are guilty. Let's hope for justice for Dan and peace in the Markel home this holiday season. Let's hope that they have a wonderful Hanukkah and that these boys are not traumatized by any phone calls from this uncle. And I'll be working on Charlie's calls for Thanksgiving and also the calls on the 13th that I missed, and probably New Year's phone calls as well to see who Charlie calls before he goes to prison. And looking forward to his sentencing and also Donna's meeting at the Leon County Courthouse. I'm also working on the Jared Brightigan murder trial, and the latest news will be if Mario Fernandez Saldana gets the motions put forward to remove the prosecution from the case, or possibly even if he flips. We'll hear his lawyer talk next week. And also I'll be looking more at Shanna's file and at Mario's file. So more information to come with those cases and more true crime. As always, I hope everyone's having a wonderful holiday season. Thank you so much for liking and watching and subscribing. Have a wonderful day.